everybody, this is Bonnie from Bonnie's Creative Place. Give you a little bit of Bonnie news. Our Creativeology team did this last month for you guys for the month of August. These are our summer project tutorials. That was our theme last month that we had to do for this month. And for anybody that orders with me, will get all the instructions step-by-steps on how to make these cards. And now we are going to do this card. Isn't this card beautiful? I seen a card similar but different. It might have been the demonstrator's website. I'm not really sure. Or it might have been Pinterest, because sometimes I'm just surfing around. And I just kind of changed things up a little bit, but I kept her color combination. And I did some of her leaves the way she did, but I did twist it, add a little bit of Bonnie's twist. So let's get started on how I made this card. And if I can find the lady's name that her card, I will link it in my description box below. Okay, so let's get started. So, oops, let's keep the card in here so we could see what we're doing. So the first thing we need is a piece of crumb cake that is 8.5 by 5.5. We scored it at 4 1/4, and then I scored on the one side, on the left hand side, I scored over a 1 inch. So I've already pre-done that. So let's go ahead and score on our score lines. So we're going to score this. And the best tip I can give everybody, if you want your card to lay flat, just keep scoring it. And now it lays flat. So the more you score, the flatter it'll lay. And the same thing with this. If you want this little piece to lay flat, I folded it away, by the way. Just keep scoring it, and it will end up just laying flat. But if it, I mean, it won't lay permanently flat, but it'll lay flatter so you can work with it. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to add adhesive to this. You can use whatever adhesive you want. You can use the Stamp and Seal, or you can use the liquid adhesive, whatever you prefer. And I'm just going to hear that down just like that. Then we're going to need a piece that is 1 3/4, or not 1 3/4, 3/4 of an inch. So just 3/4 of an inch, and we're going to line it up here, and it's got to be by 5.5. And then we're going to adhere this down. Man, can't talk today. And then we need a strip, and this is from the fall, what is the name of the paper? I got it right here. I got the little label. I caved the plaid trending, and it's the 6x6 plaid trending pack. And this is one of the colors that was in there. I love this side. That makes me think of Halloween. And this side, I didn't really think of it until the Peacock Blend, but I like this. This is a nice fall color too. So this is from there, and we needed, this is 6, this is a 6x6, and I cut this at 1.25 inches, and we've got to cut this off because we only want 5.5. So I'm just gonna put adhesive. I'll just go a little ways, and then I'll kind of stop because I'm going to cut it off anyways. And so we're going to put this piece right here, and then we'll cut this right off like that, and did that. I think I got it enough. Okay, so isn't that pretty? I just absolutely love this. Now I'm using, because I added some stitches on here, Stampin' Up! Does sell this nice chalk marker. It's got that kind of a point on it, which is really nice for doing some stuff. But I really wanted the jelly more, the gel one with a finer point for this stuff, the sketching I'm going to do. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'll try to keep it all in the camera, but I'm just gonna kind of like draw a line and then do a couple stitching, draw a line. And you can do one, you can make the line shorter. It doesn't, whatever you want to do. Looks like that. Hope you can see it. There we go. So I'll zoom you back out. All right. And then we're going to take and we're going to do some stamping now. So we're going to stamp first the crumb cake, the leaf. Did I even bring the bundle that we're using over with me? I don't think I did. I think I left it behind me and I never brought it over. We're using the stamp set Gather Together. Oh, this video is going to be awful, people. Oh, Gather Together with the Gather Leaves dies. Leaves dies. So we're using both of these together. So I'm bringing over the leaf that's in this set. And I'm going to stamp it on crumb cake. And then I'm going to stamp it right on here. And I'm just applying, you know, not a lot of pressure, but pressure and letting it absorb into the paper. So there we go. So we got one there. And then we're going to get the Stampin' Scrub. And we're going to scrub this clean and dry. Okay. And then we're going to get out the Pretty Peacock. I got a piece of Pretty Peacock paper here, and this is called Tone on Tone. I don't know if you guys have heard that. That's where you do a tone on tone, where you take the same color ink and the same color stamp pad. So that's what we're doing right now, is tone on tone. So now we have that, and I'm going to set that aside because we're going to have to cut that out. Now I'm going to put the Pretty Peacock off to the side and the crumb cake for now, because we're going to need that one again in a minute. But put that off to the side. We're going to get out the Stampin' Scrub, and I'm going to just scrub this clean quick. Or you can use whatever. If you got the orange mats, those work. I like them too. Alright, so now we're going to get the pumpkins that are in that set. And I'm going to bring in my embossing stuff that I have over here in a nice little container. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my embossing buddy. Now, Stampin' Up! Stopped selling these. If you don't have a embossing buddy, just put a little bit of flour, cornstarch, or something in a bag, or might be able to find them online. I don't know. I've just had this one forever. But you really want to powder up your surface so that you don't get nothing that sticks on it. And on the extra, I have another strip of 3/4 of an inch by however long. And you want to emboss that up too, because we're going to stamp. We're going to be stamping on that. So get it, you know, good and embossed. Okay. Then we're going to bring in our Versamark. And Versamark is kind of like a clear, like it's clear. You might see it because I'm doing it on a lighter cardstock, or like a colored cardstock, but sometimes when you do it on like white or vanilla, you can't see it unless the stamp pad's really dirty. Not that mine's the cleanest, but there's sometimes you can't see them. But you'll probably see the ink, if that's, you know, any of this making sense. I'm having a rough time. I guess this is only my first video since I've not been under the weather. So I'm kind of like, you know how like when you're out of work on vacation for a week or something, and then you come back and you got to get back in the swing of things? That's how I feel right now. So I'm so sorry. And then I'm going to stamp this one up here. And I'm really kind of pushing this down pretty hard. Oh, Good thing. And that's another thing with Versamark. You want it, when you pull it up, it always makes that kind of like a doop sound. And so then we'll do this one first, and then we'll go back to the other one. And what we're going to do is, I like to use, this is a coffee filter, and I like to use a coffee filter. I find it works better for me, less mess. And I'm just going to sprinkle this right over it. I'm going to tap it off. Sprinkle this right over it. And tap it off. And then I have this little black container that they used to sell. And then I just scoop this back in here. And because I have the coffee filter, it doesn't cling to it. It just doesn't stay. So all just falls right back into there. So that's a quick tip. So you're less wasteful. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside so we can emboss that at the same time as I emboss this. But first, let's stamp this up. We already did our powder. So now I am doing a Wishing You Well. Actually, I think, yeah, I'm going to stick with it. Wishing You Well. And I'm going to stamp this right about here, I think. Hopefully it's in the center, because I want to cut the ends a little. And hopefully I have enough room. Yep. Alright. Okay, so now we'll bring this back in. We'll open up our top. Sprinkle this down. I love embossing. I used to do it all the time with my mom, and because we both loved it. I thought I hit that with my thumb. So we're going to add a little bit more. Oh, you just never know. There we go. There we go. And then just add this right back in there. And there you go. And it, you know, you can get a pack of filters, or, you know, if you're a coffee drinker, you probably have tons of them because you just need one. Get them from the dollar store, 99 cents. So, alright, so I'm all done with the embossing part. So let's get this out of the way. And one thing you want to do is, when I'm done, I want to clean those stamps. You know, you don't want to leave that stickiness on there. Now, I'll probably mute this because it'll be very loud, but I'll try to, I'm going to zoom in while I do this so you guys can see what the embossing does if you're new and never used it. You'll see it's gone from like a powder, let me get the camera, see if it's focusing. You see how it's like a powdery form, and then you'll see it form to like this shiny, like, almost like a liquid, but it's just kind of shiny. Okay, so now we have both of these. So we'll set them aside, and I'm going to get out the Stamp and Scrub again, and I'm going to get that Versamark off my stamp pads. It can sit there for a little bit, but you don't want to leave it for very long. It gump up your stamps. It ain't gonna hurt them, but I just like to clean them off. I've never left it, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Okay, I'm going to zoom you guys back out. Alright, so now we're going to do some more stamping before we go on to any of the die cutting. Okay, we're gonna stamp the leaf here in the crumb cake. And I'm gonna go off the paper a little bit, but that's okay. Kind of going up a little high and off. Just like that. This will lighten. I just want to show you the difference. See how dark it is when it first stamps, but once it soaks into the paper and everything, it will lighten like this. Okay? And then we're going to take the little, I'm trying to think, wheat? Might be some wheat. I don't know what they are, but we're going to take some of this, and I just want it to kind of like peek out. So I'm going to stamp it actually right over the leaf like this, but I actually think it looks kind of cool. So, and no two are the same, you know. Okay, so then we're done with the stamping now. I'm just going to clean these two stamps really quick. It's best to clean your stamps as quickly as you can. But although I've left mine before too. Okay, so we're all done with this stamping. So now we're going to bring in the die cutting machine. This is the new Stampin' Up! Die cutting machine. Isn't it all exciting? It's so nice right now, but I could tell, like, my hands are inky. I'm going to be, like, having to wash it down a lot. Okay, so now we're going to open this up. We're going to bring all our pieces over here. We're going to get the new plates. And the plates that we need for this, I'm going to tell this for a little while so that people get used to it. But if you look on plate number 2, it tells you what we need to use for the thin dies. It also tells you on plate 1. So what you need is you need right here, it's telling you you need plate 1, and this is plate 1. So we got to put that down. And it also says you need plate 2, and then you need plate 3. And then you're going to form your paper sandwich, and then you'll put plate 3 on again. I just wanted to let you guys know for when you're doing this. So I left my dies inside here that I used, so I'd be able to get them quickly. So I need this one, and one of these. So we're going to need the little pumpkin. And I'm going to put this up here, and I'm using some Post-it tape. That's all I'm using. I'm just using a little piece. I find that I was using the purple tape, but I found that it was tearing my paper a little bit. I use it if I don't have Post-it tape. But I find that the Post-it tape does not tear my paper. And it's nice. And I've used this so far one other time, and I just rip off little tiny pieces. How I buy it, in case anybody is wondering, I buy it in this little thing like this, and I just rip like I pull it up, and I would just okay, I pull it, and that's even too much, but I just rip off a little tiny piece like that. I would cut that piece off, and that's how much I would use. So just, I don't get anything from telling you guys this, so just letting you know how I do it. And then I put on plate number 3, and then I'm going to crank this through. It goes through so smooth. It doesn't move. I mean, the only reason why it moves is I have it on a mat, and the mat isn't secure. I'm not sure what I could get to put underneath these mats. If you guys know, leave me an idea in the description box below, because I'd like to put something under my mat or where you can get them so that they wouldn't, so that it doesn't move. So now we are going to use, I'm just trimming a little bit of that off, and I may end up trimming more. Now we're going to use the new Banner Builder or whatever, Banner Punch. And this you guys can get, it's in the holiday catalog. And I'm going to banner the ends of, both ends of this. I just make sure it's centered, so I flip it over and I put it in and then I flip it over to make sure it's centered. Alright, so now let's start putting this card together. So let's bring in all our parts and fun stuff here. So the first thing I did was I put this down and I put it down flat, kind of like that. It all depends, you know, where you put your things. I mean, we could have it hang off a little bit still like I did there because I am going to have another one. But let me see, where's my other brown one? Oh, right here. Let's see, will that cover it? A little bit, it will. I think I want it just like that. So it all depends. Not everyone is going to be exactly the same. So we're going to just add some adhesive to this so that we can just put it right down. And I'm kind of covering those two leaves if I didn't say that. Oh, my video here. And then this one I'm going to have popped up. So we're going to need dimensionals. So I got a bunch of dimensionals here. And I'm going to pop this one up. You could use craft ink on when I did this instead of, if you don't have the embossing powder. You can also use the StazOn white if you don't have all the embossing stuff to do this card. So those are just some other options. I want a vibrant, like really wow with the white on here. So I wanted to go ahead and do the embossing. But I'm just letting you know that if you guys want to do something else for the instead of that, you can. So I'm just going to add a couple embossings here, or Stampin' Dimensionals, and then I'm going to cut like a half of one. Sorry if I was off camera. I'm cutting like a half of one here, and I'm going to put it at the bottom. I had to think of where it was going. I'm going to put it at the bottom because this is embossed, and it seems when it hits right there. That's why I did a pre-test. If you saw me lay it down for a minute and then pick it back up, I did a pre-test on that so that way when this goes down, it'll kind of be all the same. You can hang off over here as much as you want, like I did and the ribbon is, because that's not, you just don't want to go past this little end here. But this side, you kind of don't want to have it over. I've got a little bit over here. I might have to trim it off, but I do have to give somebody a get well card, so I may just hand it, and then I don't have to worry about that. So that is this. Now, where is, I had ribbon. I think I stuck it, oh, right here in the little container. This is some of the ribbon that was in the catalog. I don't remember the name of it. It's in the holiday catalog. I'm not 100% what page it on. I will have the name of it posted on the blog. And then you just want to make a bow, or on the video. So then you just want to make a bow here. Yep. Probably will trim these again. Yeah. Alright, and then we'll get put it right down here. I like to fluff them up a little bit. Even, I mean, this one has been flattened and it still looks good, but I like to fluff them up, and I think they definitely need shortened. I can always tell better after I put it on the card that how short I want them. I kind of guess, but I'm never fully right, so. There we go. Okay, I gotta fix this one a little bit. As I pulled the string, and I'm right-handed. I'm left-handed, but I don't know. I cut and do stuff with my right hand. All right, and then I had some little tiny gems that I thought I cut. Oh, I put them in here. And then I'm gonna pick these up. Oh, I put one right here. I don't know. And this to me reads like for man or definitely fall. So I just like. Ooh. I just like the colors together. Okay, I need a little bit bigger one here. It's a medium size one, right there. And these rhinestones came with the what was the name of that bundle? I can't think. I'll have it in the description box. My brain is not working yet, I guess. I'm sorry, guys. I feel kind of bad. So these are the two cards. Oh wait, I didn't put the pumpkins. Oh my goodness. This video is everywhere and I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness, I am just not with it. Maybe I still need to go and rest. I don't know. I'm putting the pumpkins kind of towards the top because I have them resting on the... I'm putting the pumpkins. Can you hear me? I hope this may be a bloopers video. Wow, I've never done one before, but I have misspoke 1,000 times in this video. I'm putting the dimensionals on the pumpkins towards the top because the bottom half of this will be resting on there. I cannot believe I forgot to put the pumpkins. The one thing that I'm like, oh, this just really makes the card. Only me. Only me. Oh, Lord. I know I wasn't feeling good for 2 or 3 days, but then I just felt weak. And now I didn't have the corona or anything. It was just a tummy bug. And now I'm doing better. But I'll tell ya, my brain ain't back. There are our 2 cards, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the card today. I'm sorry for all the, like, I don't know, slow talking, whatever. In this case, who knows? I may have voiced over this whole thing. So, there you go, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.